Hello, and welcome back to episode 10 of the How to Make a 2D Minecraft style game in C Sharp. In the last episode, we started working on making a main menu, and in this episode, we are going to finish the main menu and we're going to attempt to add in a level loading screen as well. Alright, so before we get started, I want to actually add a simple thing that can allow us to put a button on the middle of the screen. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add in here after this color a bool centered, and that's going to be equal to false. All right, so that's going to be false normally. And we're going to take this var s and drag this up to here. Let's tab that. And we're going to do remove this, Control X to get rid of it, if centered equals false, curly brackets, put that back in there, else the curly brackets, and for this x, we're going to do x minus s dot x divided by 2. Or we're actually going to do x equals x minus s dot x divided by 2 right here. Then we can go into the menu state, and we're going to set centered to true. Oh, whoops. Put it in the wrong spot. Let's move that back into there. And we've got our quit button. Now we can do raylib.get render width divided by 2 for the x, and the 250 for the y. Now we've got our quit button right in the middle. Right? And next we can do raylib get render height divided by 2 for the y. That'll put the quit button right in the middle. And then we can also do this times int title size equals 64 times raylib get render width divided by 500. Oh, whoops, title scale, actually. We're going to multiply the 64 by title scale times title scale. I just wanted to do this as a little bit of a test. All right, that did not work. We are going to press Control Z a bunch of times until the title scale is gone. However, I am going to make this Y value 50 here for the title. Like that. It's going to move it down a little bit. Actually, we could do raylib get render height divided by 16. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. And then now we're actually going to do for the quit button plus 64 times 2 because I want to move it down a little bit. And then we're going to copy this, paste this, and change this to single player. We're also going to add in here, we're going to change this abstract update to, or actually no, we can put this in the game. We're going to do a public bool left down. And we're going to be fixing the mouse button down and mouse button up stuff. So, in the game here, public list bool mouse button down equals new. And see this mouse button here? We've got left, middle, right, side, right. We're going to do for their button in mouse button for each. And then we're going to take this mouse button right here, double click, Control X, type of the parentheses, mouse button, dot, and then type in enum, and it is get enum values and the parentheses, mouse button down dot add false. All right. Then we're also going to do a mouse button just down. I copied and pasted that. And then we're going to do a key down and a key just down. We're going to do mouse button just down dot add false. Key down dot add false. Oh, whoops, sorry, not in here. Copy, paste for each var button in type of keyboard key here, key down, key just down. And then in the update here, we're going to add this if raylib mouse button down, or sorry, mouse button, yeah, that should be right, button and we have to do a cast to mouse button here. Then mouse button down, a cast to int button. Oh, sorry, this needs to go in the box like that. Equals true. And then we're going to copy this, else equals false, and then copy just this part before the equal true, if this equals false, mouse button, and we'll do just down equals true. And then here we can do mouse button just down equals false. And we're going to copy this, paste this, change this to keyboard key, copy this, keyboard key is key down. Then this is key just down. key down, key just down, key down, key down. We're going to make a new function here. Public bool is key down, keyboard key, key. Return key down, cast to int key. And then we will do is key just down. And then we can do key just down. Is mouse button down. Mouse button. Change that to mouse button. Is mouse button just down. Mouse button just down. And now we can go into game state and do if game.is mouse button just down. Let's press the play here. And alright. Out of range. Game line 49. What is the biggest number? You know what? I'm just gonna do 4 int I equals 0. I is less than 500. I equals I plus 1. We're just gonna add 500 falses to this. Just so that we get all the different values. There we go. And now we can click the quit button, but if you notice, the quit button's kind of in the middle of the single player button. So we're going to do 64 times 1 here instead of 64 times 2. The single player button's above the quit button now. And so the reason we did that key press stuff is because before, if I were to click and hold the mouse button, and I'm holding it right now, and I were to go over the quit button, it would have just quit immediately. But now, I just have to click that. Alright. So, the next thing we need to do, we're going to make a new file. Singleplayerstate.cs. Public class single player state. The 2 dots game state. And the curly brackets. And remove these. And I'm going to go to another quick fix up here, generate constructor. And then we can go to game, open state, new single player state. And we are going to put the game inside there too. And then I'm going to copy this quit text button, paste it in here, and hover my mouse over here for arraylib, and we're going to change this to back, and we're going to do game.openState new menu state parentheses game and the semicolon at the end. Now let's go to full screen, single player, and back. We can go back and forth between single player and the menu, And we're actually going to do raylib get render height minus 64 times 2 for this back button. We're going to put it all the way down there. Because what we're going to do, we're going to get all of the different world files that are inside of our saves folder. So, what we're going to do is we're going to type up here directory get directories and saves. And what you can see is this is going to return this string array. So we're going to do a public string array saves semicolon and saves equals directory.get directories saves. And then we're going to do a public int page equals 0, public int saves per page equals, let's do 10. All right, and then for int I equals saves per page times page, semicolon. I is less than saves per page times page plus saves per page, semicolon. I equals I plus 1. So basically, this loop starts at our current page that we're at in the saves, and it goes until the end of the page. And then if I is greater than saves dot length, enter, minus 1, curly brackets, break. What this does is this is going to close out of this loop if we are too far. And then I'm going to copy this, paste this. We're going to say next. And this is going to be render width plus, or we're going to do int next size equals raylib dot measure text next 64. And back size equals raylib dot measure text back 64 plus next size divided by 2 copy that. We're going to remove the open state inside there. We're going to do back minus, and we're going to change this to back size. And we're going to do this minus 64 times 2. That's going to be a times 3. Let's press the play here. Go to single player. We've got back and next. A little bit too close, so let's do minus 25 and plus 25 there. Go to single player. We've got back and next. Let's change this to back to menu. That one. There we go. And we will do if page is greater than 0. And then here, if page is less than, say, saves dot length divided by saves per page. So now these buttons are gone. But what we're going to do is in here, page equals page minus 1, page equals page plus 1, and then we're going to do text button directory, or no, sorry, path name. It's going to be get directory name of saves in this box and I, comma, raylib dot renders width enter parentheses divided by 2, and then we're going to do 100 plus 80 times I. The size is going to be 64. The color is going to be white. And centered is true. We are going to press Control X and then do an if parentheses and Control V to put that back in there. Put the curly brackets at the end. Now we're going to press play. Go to single player. It's getting the name of the saves folder. Get directories. You know what we're going to have to do is, I'm going to add a +1 here. We're going to add a +1 to both of these. I think, no, we don't want a +1. We want to get the files that are inside of here. Like, for example, this My World file. Check Git files. Nope. I'm going to pause this for a second while I look for how to get the directories. Alright, I'm back. I've actually figured out what the problem is. So we need to do, instead of get directory name, we need, first, let's do saves I. As you can see, it does say saves in My World. What we need to do is path.get file name There we go. Yeah, it was path.get file name instead of path.get directory name. So I'm gonna cut that and var file equals that file. Put file there. All right. So now we're going to do game.openState new world state game file. So now let's go to single player, click on My World, and see here. We've got a problem at get block in world line 131. Let's see. Let's cut this out and do if chunk not equals null. And do that. That's in get block. And in set block, we'll do the same thing. If chunk not equals null. And that should fix it. Go to single player, go back to my world, and boom. Oh. There we go. And now we're in. Alright, so that was it for this episode of how to create a 2D Minecraft style game in C#. In the next episode, we are going to be working on creating a screen in the main menu that will allow us to create a new world and give it a name. We'll also be making another screen in here where if you press the escape key on the top left of your keyboard, instead of closing out the game like this, it'll open up another little menu that you can use to go back to the main menu. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.